On the 95th episode of the HatTrick Sports Podcast, we are going to be talking about the NBA and NHL playoffs. We have some MLB news and updates. The NFL draft is coming up here in a few weeks. We're going to be ranking the top 5 teams that have never won a title, and we're going to end it off with some Hall of Fame, yay or nay. Make sure you use code HatTrick Sports when checking out at w.gg for 10% off your order. Roll it! Welcome to HatTrick Sports, starring your host, Isaiah Carpenter. Bringing you the biggest sports headlines every week. This is the HatTrick Sports Podcast. All right, we got the NBA playoffs starting. The bracket is officially set. A few games have actually started going on at the time of this recording. We're recording at around noon on Sunday, on April 20th. But you have the Thunder, Grizzlies, Nugs, Clippers, Lakers, Timberwolves, Rockets, Warriors, Magic, Celtics, Pistons, Knicks, Pacers, Bucks, Heat, and Cavs all made it to the NBA playoffs. Now, there's one team that made it to the finals last year that did not make the playoffs this year, and that is the Mavericks. I mean, there seems to be kind of an outlier situation. There seems to be a one thing that changed between when they were in the finals last year and this time this year. I'm just saying Nico Horner might as well be fired at this point. But I'm going to do my my first round predictions for the NBA playoffs. You have the Thunder and Grizzlies. I think this is an easy Thunder. Thunder in 5. 1 second. I have a tab over here of the bracket. Where's the Thunder at? Stupid thing. But yeah, you have the Thunder. I have the Thunder in 5. You have the Nuggets and Clippers. Now, the Nuggets, this is going to be a super close matchup. The Nugs don't really have coaches right now, and I think that's going to affect them here in the postseason, whether that's this round or next round. The Clippers are the 5 seed, but at the time of this recording, the Nuggets are leading the Clippers 1-0. But I think that the Clippers can come back. It's a 7-game set. So I'm going to go with the Clippers for the first round. Clippers in 7. You have the Lakers and Timberwolves. The Lakers are a very, very strong team right now. They have Luka Doncic, they have Austin Reeves, they have LeBron James, the big 3, the real big 3, if you ask me. So I think that helps the Lakers out a lot. But the Timberwolves also have their kind of strengths and stuff like that. I'm trying to find, I had the tab open. But yeah, the Lakers are, I think they're favored to win this series, even over the Timberwolves. So give me the Lakers in 6. Right now, the Timberwolves lead the Lakers 1-0. Again, at this time, there have been a few series that have already started by a game. But I think that the Lakers will come back and win this series. Again, LeBron, Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, Lakers in 6. And then you have the Rockets and Warriors. Now, this is a weird kind of matchup because the Rockets are the 2 seed, the Warriors are the 7 seed, and I'm going to choose, I don't know if it's considered the upset, but I'm going to pick the Warriors. I think that the Warriors will end up winning. The Rockets, yes, they're young. It's just stuff like that. They're big, they're athletic, but it's the Warriors. I think that the Warriors are going to win in 6. They have not played at the time of this recording. It is still 0-0. And then on the west side, on the east side of the bracket, you have the Cavs and Heat. The Cavaliers, I feel like a few years ago, weren't that good, and now they are the number 1 seed playing against the Heat, who also wasn't that good. But it's an easy Cavs. You have the Pacers and Bucks. Again, I think this is going to be another close series. The Pacers and Bucks. We've seen this before. Jeez, these ads on these websites are killing me. But where is it? I had notes on all these games and now, but yeah, the Pacers and Bucks. It's going to be a close series, but give me the Pacers in 6. You have the Knicks and Pistons. The Pistons weren't good at all last year, and then again snuck their way into the playoffs this year. But the Knicks are going to win that game. Let me see here. Weird. I don't know where any of this went. So that's kind of frustrating, but yeah, I think that the Knicks will win. It's going to be 6 or 7 games. So give me the Knicks in 6 or 7 games. And then who else do you have? And then the last matchup, you have the Celtics and the Magic. The Magic, also a team that wasn't that good a couple years ago. Celtics have always been good. Give me the Celtics, and that is who I have in the first rounds of the NBA playoffs. So it'll be cool to see how far it goes. I think that the Thunder and Lakers will meet each other in the conference finals. All the Lakers have to do is beat the Timberwolves and then either the Rockets or Warriors. I think that the Warriors will give them a little bit of trouble, but I think that if the Rockets beat the Warriors, that they'll be fine. And then the Thunder, I think, will make it to the finals. And I honestly think that the Thunder will win the NBA finals. I said that a month ago, and I'm standing by it. If we look at the stats over here, I have the stats of the regular season. The Cavs, a staggering 64-18, while the Thunder went 68-14 to only lose 14 games in a 82 game season. That is incredible for the Thunder, and that is why I think that they'll win the finals. Again, like I said, the Mavs made it to the finals last year. Why didn't they make it to the playoffs this year? Again, like I said, I think there's an outlier somewhere in there. Something changed. I don't know what it is, but something changed with the Mavs from last year to this year that made them eliminated before getting into the NBA playoffs. But if you look at the Lakers, like I said, I think that the Lakers will end up facing the Thunder in the conference finals. They won their 50 games. And then if you look at the Mavs, they didn't even win half of their games. They went 39-43. They made it to the play-in and then lost. I think that game went into overtime, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, the Mavericks. I was rooting for you guys until you guys gave up Luka Don. Yeah. The Lakers are going to be good. The Mavericks gave the Lakers the success that they have right now in the season that they're in right now. Go over. Yeah, I think that. Let's move on to MLB news. MLB news. Jazz Chisholm Jr. got into a little bit of trouble last week. He was rung up on a pitch that was low. It was 99 mile an hour. I believe it was a fastball. It was low, and the ump said that it was strike, rung him up on it. Jazz was chirping a little bit at the ump, ended up getting ejection, claimed that nothing he said should have caused the ejection. Went down to the locker room. In the middle of the game, went down to the locker room, which, again, he was ejected. He has to go down to the locker room, but got on his phone, tweeted out, what's the exact tweet? I need the exact tweet. He tweeted out, "Not even effing close," with about 5 exclamation marks, which is true. It wasn't really close, if we're being completely honest, but guess what? Umpires are going to make mistakes. That is just what happens in the game of baseball. And MLB ended up suspending him for 1 game. He appealed the suspension, so he got to play on Friday night's game where they were playing the Rays, and I believe they won. They won the game 1-0. Friday game where they were playing Tampa, the final score was 1-0, but Jazz Chisholm Jr. went 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts, so he probably should have just taken that suspension, got it done with. He appealed the suspension. I believe that it never got overturned, but Jazz Chisholm is taking responsibility for his actions. He says, I lost my emotions, I lost my cool, I gotta be better than that. I'm definitely mad at myself for losing my cool. And let's be honest, we've all said stuff that we probably should have said in the heat of the moment. It's probably happened to all of us. It happens. Now, it's obviously getting more publicity because it's Jazz Chisholm and it's in the MLB and you're showing up the umpire. But I think that everybody's kind of in the right and in the wrong in this situation. Jazz Chisholm, yeah, think about what you say before you're going to say it. Think about the millions of people that are watching and how many people, like me talking about this. I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of other people talking about this exact thing. And then you got to think about, hey, once the thing's over with, you can't go down to the locker room, tweet that thing. But I'm glad that he's taking responsibility. The ump's got to get better. I didn't look at the scorecard for that game, but I don't think that ump did very good. And I think that's what Jazz Chisholm was kind of arguing about, is that, hey, he was missing all game. There were calls all game that he was kind of missing, and I think Jazz Chisholm was just frustrated. He's a competitor. I mean, it was a close game. He was a competitor. He wanted that for the team, and he wanted to tell the ump, like, hey, you got to do better. He said, I didn't think before I had anything that I said was ejectable, but after probably. So once he got ejected, he probably said some stuff he probably shouldn't have. He said, I'm a competitor, so when I go out there and I feel like I'm right and you're saying something to me that I think doesn't make sense, I'm going to get fired up about. I'm going to get fired up and be upset. I lost my emotion. I lost my cool. I already said that stuff. So, yeah, he tweeted about it. He deleted the tweet right afterwards, but everybody has screenshots of him tweeting it. He took responsibility. He got suspended a game. He appealed the suspension, then went 0 for 4. Probably should have just taken the suspension. But, yeah. It's just a little side story to talk about in the MLB. More MLB news. Shohei Ohtani officially had his kid. I thought he was going to have his kid in June. But it ended up being a girl. He ends up having a daughter. Him and Mama Miko end up having a kid. I believe the birthday would have been April 18th or April 19th. I think it was the 18th. April 18th, April 19th, something like that will be her birthday. And obviously, I was kind of hoping for a boy. I mean, I want to see Shohei Ohtani's legacy live on in the MLB. But as a girl, I mean, you got to think about Mama Miko, Mama Moko, whatever the mom's name is, whatever Shohei's wife's name is, was a professional basketball player in Japan. And so they're both freak athletes. So the girl, what I'm thinking about is, hey, she's going to have to grow up in the U.S. Obviously, Shohei and Mama Miko live in the U.S. Obviously, Shohei's playing for the Dodgers. She could get into soccer. Now, you could also be saying WNBA, but I don't think WNBA gets the recognition it deserves. I think that women's soccer, gets more recognition across the world, especially in like the U.S. She could play for U.S., Japan. She could play anywhere she wants. Again, we're talking about a kid that was just born. I don't know what all's going on. Obviously, she can't even crawl, walk, talk. She can't even do anything. We're talking 20 years down the line. But I would like to see her play soccer or even in the WNBA if she wants to or stuff like that. But I would like to see the Ohtani legacy live on, and then whether she has kids and stuff like that. They're both Shohei and Mama Miko are freak athletes. So I don't have a problem with it being a girl. I think that she could still be a great athlete. Ohtani did post on his Instagram, "Welcome to the Ohtani family. I'm so grateful to my loving wife who gave birth to our healthy, beautiful daughter. To my daughter, thank you for making us very nervous yet super anxious parents. I would also like to thank the Dodgers organization, my teammates, and the fans for their constant support and kind words of encouragement. I would also like to express my sincere gratitude to all the medical professionals and everyone who dedicated their support to us up until this wonderful day." So, again, congratulations, Shohei Ohtani. He only missed 2 games. He missed the first 2 games of the Rangers series. And yes, the Dodgers won one of them, lost one of them on a walk-off on the second game. But he's going to be back for the 3rd game. I guess they're flying him back out to Texas, and he's going to be playing that 3rd game with the Dodgers. And I applaud that. I mean, he's making all this money. He doesn't have to be there for that game, let's be honest. We're at the beginning of the season. But I'm glad that he came back. He's coming back so early. Yeah, so like I said, I think that this baby Ohtani should maybe go into soccer, WNBA or something like that. Keep the Ohtani family legacy going. Let's talk about the highest paid player in the MLB. Juan Soto signed a record-breaking contract a few months ago, 15 years for $765 million. As of right now, again, we're only 4 weeks into the season. He is batting .225. That's old stats. Right now, Juan Soto is at 21 games played, 91 plate appearances, 18 hits in his 91 plate appearances. He's batting .240 with a .374 on-base percentage, slugging .413, OPS 787, and then an OPS plus of 128. But if you go to Ben Rice, who is on a 1-year $782,000, not million, $1,000 contract, he is batting He has played in 19 games at the time of this recording, 77 plate appearances, 19 hits, 5 home runs, 9 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, a 292 batting average, a 403 on base percentage, 600 slugging, 1.003 OPS, and a 187 OPS plus. So Ben Rice leads Juan Soto in these stats. But like I said, we're only 4 weeks into the season at this point. They both have a .8 wins above replacement at the time of this recording. So again, nothing too much to worry about. And I think that Juan Soto will eventually go up. If we look at the MLB standings, I have them here somewhere. MLB standings. If we look at the MLB standings, we see that the Mets are first in their division. As of right now, they are a game ahead of the Phillies. They are 14-7. And then you have the Yankees in the AL side, who are 13-8. So technically, the Mets are better. So the wins above replacement is obviously more in favor of Ben Rice than Juan Soto, just because of the teams they have to play on. But very minuscule stats. I think that Ben Rice is going to be good. I think he's going to be the next big thing, but I think Juan Soto is going to kick it in. And again, he's not having a bad season so far. I mean, batting .240, yes, that's less than average. That's less than what, $62 million or whatever he's making, $65 million. That's low for that much money, but he'll kick it in. I think that he'll be fine, and I think the Mets are still going to be a powerhouse team this year. And people are taking this too out of context. Let's go over some MLB standings and stuff like that. Again, we're 3 weeks into the season. We have barely kicked the rock on the season so far. The Braves not looking too good. Everyone is like the Braves are second favorites to win the World Series. I said straight up from the beginning of the season, hey, the Braves aren't going to be that good. Guess what? They've only won 6 games in their first 19. The Cubs are doing very good. They've played a lot of NL West teams, which the NL West I'll talk about a little bit later is the best division in baseball right now. Drink a W, get W.GG, use code HatTrick Sports for 10% off your order. The Brewers are they're doing okay. The whole National League Central is doing mediocre other than the Cubs. Again, the Pirates are last in that division, 5.5 games back, which 20 games into the season, not very good. But we'll see what they can do. The NL West is what I've been wanting to talk about. As of right now, again, this is going to change today, tomorrow, the next day. The Padres are leading the NL West right now. They are 15-6 at the time of this recording. The Dodgers are right behind, a half game behind at 15-7. Then the Giants and Diamondbacks, who are both over 500. The Giants are actually 13-7. And then you have the Rockies, who really bring down the NL West. But if we look at the AL, the Yankees are doing pretty good, 13-8. Tigers are doing good. Like I said, they're getting their get back. 10 years ago, they were really good. They had that slump. Now they're coming back. And then you have the Rangers, who are doing pretty well. The AL West isn't doing as good as I thought that they would this season. The Athletics are doing better than they were in seasons past. They're not horrible. The Astros are 4th. They are 10-10 at the time of this recording. Then you have the Mariners and Angels. White Sox 4-16. I mean, come on, guys. We give you guys a chance. Like, it's a new season, new year, new you. And guess what? You guys still only win 4 games in your first 20. How does that happen? I mean, they're 8.5 games behind the Tigers, 20 games into the season. Let's be for real, guys. Like, come on. We're going to skip over that. I don't think we need to talk about that. Let's move on to a new segment. We're going to call this Keep 4, Cut 5. So we have 8 athletes up on the board. LeBron James, Tom Brady, Serena Williams, Lionel Messi, Michael Phelps, Tiger Woods, Shohei Ohtani, and Conor McGregor, all GOATs. And we have to keep 4 and cut 4. And this is going to be a little bit challenging. So right off the bat, I am an Orlando City soccer fan, and Lionel Messi plays for Inter Miami. So straight off the bat, Messi has got to go. We are going to cut Messi. All right, Messi is officially cut. One guy we are going to keep is Shohei Ohtani, the greatest baseball player of all time that never took steroids. 50-50 season, never been done. Shohei Ohtani did it and is now a father. He just keeps getting better, so got to keep Shohei Ohtani. Serena Williams. I love Serena Williams. I don't watch a whole lot of tennis. I mean, when it's on, the Olympics, stuff like that, big competitions, Wimbledon, stuff like that, I will watch tennis. I just don't watch that much tennis. She is the greatest female tennis player of all time. I just got to cut her. I mean, we are in a list of all GOATs. She is a GOAT herself. She's just got to go. It's nothing personal. I love Serena Williams. She's just got to go. So we have cut 2. We have kept Ohtani. Another guy we are going to keep is Tom Brady, the greatest basketball player. Tom Brady, the greatest football player of all time. I mean, he just has every record in the postseason as a quarterback, Mr. Irrelevant. I mean, you just got to keep Tom Brady. You got to keep him. I don't care if you hate him. I don't care if you love him. You got to keep the greatest. When I hear GOAT, I think of Tom Brady, and that is why we're going to keep him. Michael Phelps, again, I only watch swimming during the Olympics. I know that he holds the most world records for the Olympics, gold medals. I know he has all the gold medals. He is the greatest swimmer of all time. But we are going to cut Michael Phelps. We got to cut Michael Phelps. He's just, again, a list of GOATs. He is a GOAT. It's just not, you just got to cut it. I get paid to make the hard decisions, and he's just got to go. We are going to keep Tiger Woods, again, considered the greatest golfer of all time. He just had the longevity of a career. And as an athlete, he's just there. He's just that guy, Tiger Woods. He obviously got in that car accident, kind of drained his career, and then now he tore his Achilles. He's definitely on the downswing of his career. But yeah, we are going to keep Tiger Woods. So now we are down to LeBron James and Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor, I'm going to cut. He's in MMA. We are going to cut Conor McGregor, which means that we are going to keep the man on the Lakers. His name is LeBron James. He's part of the real Big Three. He's the man on the Lakers. So yeah, we are going to keep LeBron. So we kept LeBron James, Tom Brady, Tiger Woods, Shohei Ohtani. We unfortunately had to cut, or I guess fortunately had to cut Lionel Messi. Unfortunately had to cut Serena Williams, Michael Phelps, and Conor McGregor. So that is first edition of Keep 4, Cut 4. Let me know if you like the segment or not. I might be able to do that again. All right, the NFL draft is coming up here on April 25th, 5 days away from this recording. What is that, on a Friday, I think is when it starts. Gonna be exciting. I think we all know that Cam Ward is going to go to the Titans. QB, the Titans need a QB. I think he's gonna be like a Trevor Lawrence kind of situation. We saw Trevor Lawrence, the Jags needed a QB, wasn't a great team, still not a great team. I don't think the Titans are gonna be a great team even with Cam Ward. Yeah, I mean, they just didn't want Sanders. It's a no-brainer that Cam Ward is going to go first overall. And then second overall, I think the majority of people can agree that that Travis Hunter will be second overall. I don't really like Travis Hunter. I appreciate Travis Hunter. He has done nothing wrong, but everybody's comparing him to Shohei Ohtani. He is nowhere on the level of Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani, again, 50-50 runner-up for Cy Young years before, one of the greatest pitchers that we've seen in years past. I mean, Shohei Ohtani is doing something nobody else in the history of sports have ever done. Travis Hunter hasn't even been drafted, and if he is drafted, he is going to go to the Browns. You know where Shohei Ohtani started his career? The Los Angeles Angels. Guess what? They are absolutely horrible. I mean, haven't won a World Series. It just makes me mad when they compare Travis Hunter to Shohei Ohtani when he hasn't even been drafted yet. And I don't think that he will be nearly as good on the Browns as he was in college. He's a wide receiver and cornerback from Colorado. Everybody's saying Colorado. They have won absolutely nothing. Yes, him and Shedeur Sanders have put Colorado on the map, but Colorado has done nothing. No playoff appearance, no bowl wins, nothing. No championships, no nothing. And I do not like Travis Hunter just because Everybody's comparing him to Shohei Ohtani, and they should not be doing that. We still don't even know if he's going to play both sides of the ball. Shohei Ohtani will. Obviously, he's injured right now. He had to get that surgery. But even coming back from surgery, he hit 50-50, and he's going to be back in the next few months or so pitching and going to be doing better than ever. And then Travis Hunter, he's going to be either a wide receiver or a quarterback or both. I don't see him playing both sides of the ball. I'm going to be completely honest. The NFL is completely different from what Colorado was playing. Colorado and the NFL are two completely different things. I understand that Deion Sanders was their head coach. Not even close. But he will go second overall, which I respect. I respect Travis Hunter. I just don't like him. I think that he's way overrated, incredibly overrated, Travis Hunter, to the Browns. Third overall is going to be the Giants, and this is where it can get a little bit interesting. It could go to Shedeur Sanders. It could go to Shedeur Sanders. It could go to Abdul Carter. It could go to Will Campbell. There's all sorts of different places that there's all sorts of different places where the Giants could go with this. I ultimately think that they're probably going to end up getting Sanders. I think that's just a safe option with the QB. I think that they're going to draft a QB. And then after that, it kind of divils out to Abdul Carter and Will Campbell and Ashton. Guys like that. I think it'll kind of level out after that. But that's just a little preview for the NFL draft that is coming up here soon. Gonna be exciting. I really like watching the NFL draft because I hear the names, and obviously you don't think anything of it when it's in the third and fourth round. You don't think anything of them, but then they turn out to be good guys. I mean, I vividly remember Tua Tagovailoa. I remember him. It was during COVID. They had the virtual draft, and I remember during COVID, it was raining outside. I just remember that time, and I just remember him getting drafted, and you know, now he's a big name in the NFL. Sure, he's not great, but he's a name in the NFL, and I just remember him getting drafted out of Hawaii, stuff like that. I like seeing the future of the NFL, and I like saying, like, oh, I remember hearing his name. Now, then there's guys like Tom Brady, where guys are like, oh, I called it. I knew that he was going to be a stud. I knew that he was going to be the greatest football player of all time when he got drafted 199th overall in the 8th round or whatever. Like, bro, come on. No, you didn't. But I like listening to the names. I like seeing the stats. I like seeing what they have to offer. And I like seeing the draft grades that each team gets at the end of the draft. So, gonna be exciting. Gonna be excited to see the future of the NFL being called up. Yeah, we talked about Travis Hunter kind of being called the next Shohei Ohtani. Don't appreciate that whatsoever. Aaron Rodgers still undecided on his future. I mean, there's a possibility that he still retires. I think that he goes with the Steelers. He claims that he doesn't want a big deal. He doesn't want a 2, 3, 4 year, $50 million deal or nothing. He said, I'll just take $10 million, play a year, and then see where I go from there. I feel like I was always like, hey, I don't think he wants attention. I think he's really thinking about it. Now it's getting to the point of like, hey, you don't got to talk 40 minutes on Pat McAfee show about how you're not sure if you're going to retire or anything yet. Like, decide what you want to decide. Go in some caves, dig some holes, whatever you got to do. Go sleeping for 3 days straight or stay awake for 5 months straight. Do what you got to do. Aaron Rodgers is an absolute weirdo. But do what you got to do. Don't keep us wondering. And there's going to be a point where it's going to be like, hey, you missed the cutoff. You're too late, where the Steelers aren't going to want him anymore. And because it's 3 days before the season's about to start. So, Aaron Rodgers, just try to pick a team soon. I mean, as a sports fan, I just want to kind of know what you're deciding. I thought I watched your last snap, your last touchdown, but maybe I didn't. I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities up in the air. I think $10 million is a little generous for you. Hey, maybe throw you maybe a little 5 there or something. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see where Aaron Rodgers goes. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to the NHL playoffs. So the NHL playoffs has officially started, same time as the NBA playoffs, except I don't watch a whole lot of basketball. I mean, I've been following the Capitals a little bit just because of Ovechkin. I've been keeping up with hockey a little bit, but I'm just not super into hockey, and I just don't watch hockey like every night or anything like that. But the first round has officially started, so I'm going to do my first round predictions for the NHL. In the Eastern Conference, you have the Devils versus the Hurricanes. The Hurricanes are favored by quite a bit here in this series. So we are going to go with the Hurricanes. I think that the Hurricanes are going to move on. You have the Senators and the Maple Leafs. This is a little bit closer. I think that the Senators are going to try to push it a little bit, but I ultimately think that the Maple Leafs are going to win. You have the Canadiens versus the Capitals. The Canadiens should move to Florida or something. I think that would be kind of funny. Maybe not. But the Canadiens versus the Capitals here. The Capitals are favored by a little bit. I think that the Capitals are going to end up winning. They have their home field advantage, which I think is important, especially in these best-of-7 tournaments, or rounds, I should say. You have the Panthers and Lightning. Don't have to travel far, both in the same state of Florida, where it's 90 degrees outside, and these guys are playing on ice. I mean, I don't know how you adjust from, freezing cold to scorching hot. It's going to be a close matchup. It's going to be a really, really close matchup. This is probably going to be the closest matchup that we see in the first round of the NHL playoffs. I mean, I would honestly flip a coin for this. Let's do, I don't have a team that I think that will be favored over the other. Again, you have home ice advantage and stuff like that, but guess what? It's not a whole lot of travel. You're traveling a couple hours. And so, yeah, I'm going to pick the Lightning. I'm just going to pick the Lightning. I think that the Lightning will win. Again, I think it's going to be a super close series, but we'll see. And in the Western Conference, you have the Blues versus the Winnipeg Jets. The Jets are heavily favored in this series, so give me the Jets. You have the Jets are already up. They won 5-3 in game 1. So as of right now, they are heavily favored. You have the Avalanche versus the Stars. The Avalanche are slightly favored in this. I think that the Stars are going to try to make a run. I'm going to go with the Stars. I think that's going to be my upset. I think that it's going to be a close series. Give me the Stars in 7. You have the Minnesota Wild versus the Vegas Golden Knights. Again, I think this is going to be another pretty close one. Give me the Golden Knights, so I think that the Knights are going to end up winning. You have the Oilers versus the Kings. This is going to be kind of like that Florida series. The Oilers, I think, are going to end up winning. I understand that the Kings kind of have their the home field, the home ice advantage, but I think that the Oilers are going to end up getting the win and winning round 1. So that's just my predictions for this 2025 NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. Let's move on to the top 5 teams that never won a title. You have the 1993-94 New York Knicks. They were 57-25. They were the number 2 seed in the East. They had Patrick Ewing, John Starks, Charles Oakley. They went toe-to-toe with the Rockets in the finals. They lost in Game 7. They would have had the ring if Jordan hadn't left and come back. You know that little where you transition, you try to play baseball for a little bit. If that never happened, some may say that they would have won. At number 4, you have the 1990s Buffalo Bills. They won 4 straight They had 4 straight Super Bowl appearances: 1990, 1991, 1992, and 1993. They had Jim Kelly, Bruce Smith, all those guys. They made history, just making it there that often, but they went 0 for 4 in those Super Bowls. They ran into dynasties and into bad, they just ran into a wall at some point where they were facing these teams. They went 0 for 4. They made the Super Bowl 4 times in a row, and they did not win a single time. I mean, I think Bills fans are still haunted by that one. At number 3, you have the 2015-2016 Golden State Warriors. You had Steph Curry, you had Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. That's the season where Steph won MVP, unanimous MVP. They went 73-9. They didn't even lose 10 games that season. It was the best record, and you just can't beat that. They dominated the league. They blew a 3-1 lead in the finals to LeBron and the Cavs. I remember watching this. This is the first finals that I really remember paying attention to and watching. I mean, they're still this. That was I remember Cavs and because I remember talking about technicals and kind of learning about that at the time. So yeah, I didn't even realize that. I still remember kind of that game. That was the first finals that I kind of really remember watching because of how iconic that was supposed to be. At number 2, you have the 2001 Seattle Mariners, the best record in all of baseball history, 116-46. That was the year that Ichiro made his rookie. That was his rookie year, and he won MVP that season. You had Brett Boone and Edgar Martinez. Just the historic regular season, they were stacked. I mean, they had the stacked team. They couldn't get it. They couldn't get it done. They lost in the ALCS. They never even made the World Series. So that was a big shocker. The Dodgers are going to beat their record, though, this season. And then the number 1, you have the 2007 New England Patriots. They went 16-0. They had Tom Brady, Randy Moss. They had all these guys. They had a stacked team. They went undefeated all year, broke offensive records. I mean, there's still records standing from that 2007 Patriots team. They lost to the Giants, though, in the Super Bowl on that helmet catch. You guys remember that helmet catch? I mean, they were, again, a game away from perfection, and we've yet to see that again. But yeah, the Patriots, that Patriots dynasty with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, we'll never get that back. But yeah, those are your top 5 teams that never won a title. All right, I think that's going to wrap it up here for the 95th episode of the HatTrick Sports Podcast. Make sure you follow us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, all that good fun, and we will see you guys next week for episode 96.